What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Joshua from Marriage Reviews, and welcome back to another episode of the Monthly Pitch Series. If you are new to the channel and you have no idea what this series is called, the Monthly Pitch Series is basically once a month I upload a video where I give my own pitch to a upcoming project, whether that's TV or film, and give my own idea of what I would do with that project. And 9 times out of 10, my pitch is nowhere near to what the actual project is, but I like to give my own pitch because it also helps me with experience for when I do eventually get my own pitches for my own film and TV shows. So without further ado, let's get into it with this month's pitch. And if you read by the title, I am giving a pitch for the upcoming Avatar animated show. For context, if you don't know what Avatar: The Last Airbender is, it is a very popular show that had a sequel animation show called The Legend of Korra, which I personally have not seen. I've seen the Avatar: The Last Airbender show. I've not seen the Legend of Korra show, mainly because of just how I see how it gets a lot of mixed opinions on it. I still haven't seen that much, but I do know a little bit about that show. So you'll see about that. And it was confirmed a little while ago that we are getting a new animated Avatar series that's going to be following a Earthbender becoming an Avatar. And if you saw the YouTuber Troyo Boy, then you know what his pitch was. His pitch was a lot better than what I'm going to be giving, so just shout out to him because his pitch is definitely a lot better than what I'm going to be pitching to you guys. But without further ado, let's get into it. If you guys are new to the channel and you enjoyed this series, make sure you chuck a like on this video and you also subscribe so you will never miss another one of my videos. Without further ado, let's get into it. So first off, we're going to go with the title. The title of this show basically is going with something that deals with the Avatar itself. Obviously, for Avatar: The Last Airbender, we had Aang, who was an airbender, and he was, by definition, the last airbender. And then with Korra, she basically was like a waterbender, and I believe Korra kind of has like ties to water. The name Korra has ties to water. So for that reason, it has ties to water. And for my Avatar show, because the Avatar for this series is going to be an Earthbender, because the cycle goes from air, water, earth, and fire, because that's the way that the cycle goes. The name of the show that I will be going with is called Avatar: Nature's Calling. Definitely not my best name I've come up with, but I think it definitely holds true to the idea of like, okay, the name of the show tells us exactly what type of Avatar we're dealing with it being a Earthbender. So without further ado, let's get into the pitch itself. Now, the way I'm going to be doing this is I'm just going to be giving like the format of the show. Basically, I only have one season, and it's an 18-episode season. And I'm just going to be going through the general plot of what I have thinking of for this show, and then I'm going to be going into the characters and the villains. So first, let's get into the show itself. So obviously, I said the season will be 18 episodes long, and this show will follow an Earthbender named Loi. Also, I do not have any like stills of what the characters would look like, so you're gonna have to use your imagination. So the Avatar will be an Earthbender named Loi. He is the second Avatar after Korra. This show takes place, I want to say, roughly 50 to 75 years after the events of Legend of Korra. If you're wondering why I said he's the second Avatar after Korra, it basically from the way that I understand it, comment down for those who are like bigger Avatar fans. Comment down below if I'm wrong, because I might be wrong about this. But from what I understand, in Legend of Korra, something happened that made Korra lose the Avatar state, and by the end of that show, she restarted the cycle. Basically, meaning that she's going to be the only Avatar the next Avatar sees, if that makes sense, the Avatar state. I explain a little bit more later when we learn more about Loi. So, as I said, Loi will be the second Avatar after Korra. We will learn that Loi was born into a family, and more so a cult, that saw the Avatar as a curse. Rather than a hero. Once it's revealed that Loi is the next Avatar, his family tasks him to learn the other elements to overthrow the Earth Kingdom. Now, we will learn more about the villains and who his family is later on. I'll explain that later on. But now let's get into the gang, so to speak, and their character arcs as a whole. So first off, we have our avatar, Loi. Loi will start off his journey being very hesitant on where he stands on the avatar as a whole. His family and the cult that they are a part of believe that the avatar is a plague on the world. Throughout the season, we will see that Loi will learn the benefits of being the avatar through the friends that he makes throughout his journey, and also through meeting Korra through the avatar state. Korra will have started the new cycle of the avatar, meaning that whenever Loi goes to the avatar state, Korra is the only avatar he will ever see. But then slowly throughout the years, when new avatars come, the avatar state will grow with more avatars who have passed on in previous lives. Then we have his sister, Loi's sister Lee, who is basically going to be like the primary antagonist for this whole show. Lee, his sister, a non-bender, who is basically jealous of her brother when she learns that he has become the Avatar. She becomes the villain by episode 10 in a two-parter. So episode 9 and 10 would be a two-parter where she finally becomes like the primary antagonist for the whole show. Lee is essentially the evil version of Sokka. I thought it would be so interesting if we had if the main villain would be the brother, like the sibling of the Avatar, and instead of kind of being like how Sokka was, where he was all very cheery and very happy, well, not cheery and happy, but very like okay with not being a bender. I wanted to see what would be if we had an evil version of Sokka, where it's just like, what if it was someone who was just so like jealous that their sibling got to be a bender, but then even be more upset that they got to be an avatar. They got to be the avatar. And it would really just put a strain between the two characters. So that's definitely what I wanted to do. Yeah, so she's basically going to be the evil version of Sokka, who over the course of the show becomes angry that Loi is using his power to help people. Lee will go with Loi as assigned by their parents to keep Loi on track with his mission, which is obviously to learn the elements so that he can overthrow the Earth Kingdom. Lee will be shown to be very ruthless as she is a master fighter with the bow staff. I thought that just the swords were kind of, I don't want to say generic when it comes to the world of Avatar, because definitely the Avatar world is definitely not generic in the slightest. But I definitely wanted to see another character use kind of like a different type of weapon that's not a sword or whatever the whatever Suki's people used. I forgot what they were called. Comment down below if you remember what that was called. So that's Lee. She will be our main antagonist. The third character that's a part of the gang, or Team Avatar, whichever one you want to go with, is Tyson. Tyson would be introduced in episode 3 of the show. Basically, he would be the first person that Lee and Loi would meet when Loi is going to learn the elements. While traveling to the Fire Nation, the two will meet Tyson. Tyson is the great-grandson of Zuko. Now, from the research that I've done in Legend of Korra, Zuko only has one daughter, and she looks like to be an adult. So the way that I explain this is that basically, not great-grandson, the grandson of Zuko, and we learn that in between the time that's been since Zuko, since the events of Korra, his daughter became a mother, and she became a grandmother, so on and so forth. So Tyson is related to Zuko, and we see how he is kind of the same like person as Zuko is, but the difference is that he is not a person who does not like his powers. He does not believe that his powers are a gift, and and throughout the first few episodes we see how he's very hesitant to use his powers, and he believes that firebenders must be kept in check so there will never be another 100-year war. And because that is something that Tyson, when he learns about his great-grandfather and even his great-great-great-great-grandfather, I might be wrong about that, but with Sozin, he just realizes that like firebenders should not be as powerful as they should be, so he's very anti-Fire Nation, so to speak. Throughout the season, Tyson will begin to appreciate how much good firebenders can be despite all the harm they've been capable of. He will also begin to develop a relationship with Lee, but does not side with her. That is something that I feel like should also be explored, just the relationship between Tyson and Lee, as they are two people who kind of have the same ideology when it comes to benders as a whole, as like benders as a whole are just people who can be very dangerous and should not really be trusted. But Tyson is one who believes that people can change and can become better, while she does not believe that. She is so head stuck with what the cult has been giving her, what has been teaching her. Then the fourth person that's a part of the team is named Ko. Ko is a guy that we meet in episode 5. He is a waterbender, and what I put him as is he goes with the flow. When the group meet Ko, we learn that he's the only male waterbender in his whole tribe, which also allows him to have a bit of ego, because if the rest of the tribe is full of female waterbenders, you can kind of see where Ko is kind of thinking with this mindset. When he decides to go with the group, we see how he's the first person to have Loi really question everything his parents have taught him about the Avatar. We would also see how much of an experienced fighter he is of the whole group. And we just see how he is really a master of waterbending, and how he would basically be a good waterbender master for Loi, but would also just be very arrogant about everything. And throughout the season, we see him become more humbled and become just more likable. When we first meet, you're definitely... One sec. Sorry about that. I had to help my grandmother clean up something. So back to where I was with Ko. Ko is basically, since he's the most experienced fighter, he is the best fighter, obviously. And when we meet him, we are supposed to not like him. We're supposed to think that he's very annoying, very arrogant, but throughout the show, the season, we will see him grow and become more mature and not be so arrogant as we see him in his first episode, in episode 5. When Lee betrays the group, Ko is the first one to suggest that they fight back, showing how arrogant he kind of is and how battle ready he is overall. And the final member that is joining the new Avatar gang, the Team Avatar, is Rakia. And Rakia is an airbender who is very stubborn, and we get introduced to in episode 8. So right before the two-parter where Lee fully betrays the group and goes back to the cult, Rakia would be the last person to join the group, as she sees how conflicted Loi is with everything. The moment she and Loi meet, we already get the seeds for a potential relationship between the two, because obviously we need to have some sort of relationship brewing between in Team Avatar. But what I'm doing is I'm not doing whatever they did with Korra, where it's like a full love triangle the entire show, or like what they did with Aang and Katara in season 1, where literally Katara had a crush on every boy she saw before. By season 2, she finally realized she liked Aang and all that crap. We're not doing that. It's from the moment the two pairs meet of Rakia and Loi and Lee and Tyson. Those two relationships are our main two relationships that could develop into something more. I don't know if those will actually will. If you want to make a pitch for season 2, yeah, I could, but I could explore that more. But yeah, so Rakia is also the most calm one of the group, as we have flashbacks as she learned peace and tranquility after almost destroying the Northern Air Temple. So she has this whole she can understand where Loi is coming from with being the Avatar, as how it can be a lot of pressure on him, and we will see through flashbacks how she also understands where this is coming from, as through flashbacks we will see how she was always pressured with everything from her parents, from the Northern Air Temple and all that stuff, and how that got to her so badly where it almost led to her destroying the entire Northern Air Temple and almost hurting a lot of people. But we see how she grew from that, and how even though it still haunts her, like, she is still able to like pass on that knowledge and like kind of teaching to Loi, who needs to learn how to be calm and learn how to be able to control everything that he has going on around him. Now we're getting into the villains. The villains are basically Lee and, again, this is not the best name I've ever come up with, the Anti-Avatar Cult. Again, not the best name I could have come up with, but that's what I could think of. So basically, their whole philosophy is, as I've said in the beginning of this video and throughout this video, throughout this pitch, they basically believe that the Avatar is not a force of good and is only a force of destruction. They believe that the Avatar cannot do good, because every time the Avatar tries to do something good, it will always lead to something bad happening. They believe that the Avatar is something that is feared and shouldn't be seen as a hero or a keeper of peace. When Loi is revealed to be the Avatar, they take this to their advantage and decide to have Loi learn the elements to overthrow the Earth Kingdom and be the dominant kingdom and be the dominant element of all four elements of the entire world. It will be revealed that the founders of this cult will have been people who escaped Ba Sing Se when the Fire Nation first invaded in Avatar: The Last Airbender at the end of Season 2. And that's something that I feel like should be explored a lot, because I feel like when it came to Ba Sing Se, that was such a focal point in like in the Avatar lore. I feel like that's something that should be explored more of how it would affect the world, because again, this is coming from a guy who's never seen The Legend of Korra. As far as I'm aware, The Legend of Korra does not cover how iconic locations like how Ba Sing Se like grew and evolved into something better. I know that we see that there's like the element like there's the element city in Avatar in Legend of Korra, but I don't know. I think it's possible. I think it's possible that Ba Sing Se is now part of that was a part of that element city. I don't know, but regardless, they want to overthrow Ba Sing Se and basically make it the strongest place on Earth, so that it can even go toe-to-toe with the Avatar, who is now on their side. But in the end, the Team Avatar, Loi, Tyson, Rakia, and Rako be able to defeat Lee and the anti-Avatar cult, and will basically bring peace to Ba Sing Se. But it will end with Lee being captured, but still a few members of the anti-Avatar cult getting away and possibly leading to something. I don't know. I really don't know where this could go. But if you guys want me to do a season 2, a second episode of this, where I cover a possible season 2, let me know down in the comments. I will absolutely do it. This is an idea that I really have been working on for a while now, and I know it might not be one of my most, I want to say in-depth pitches I've done in a while. It's still something that I really enjoy doing, and yeah. So there you go. That's my pitch for the Avatar, for the Earthbender Avatar show, aka Avatar: Nature's Calling. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this pitch, once again, make sure you chuck a like on this video, and also go check out the playlist of a bunch of other pitches I've done. I've done one for Armor Wars. I've done one for a sequel to the Eternals. I've done one for my whole pitch for a whole 3-phase Valiant Cinematic Universe thing. I've done a lot of pitches, and a few more pitches are going to be on their way, along with the big announcement that's going to be coming. By the time this video comes out tomorrow, it's Wednesday, the day I'm filming this. So by Friday, when the video the video comes out tomorrow on Thursday. So by Friday, a big announcement's on the way. So I hope you guys are ready for that. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down in the comments if you enjoyed any of the characters that I made for this show. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Josh from Rave Reviews, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.